Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Today I will show you the 4 apps you can use to make a 40k a month info product. So just to give you a bit of background, I used to think that complex funnels meant more sales, which just led to more bottlenecks, 12-hour workdays, and a very unclear path for the customers, so they just ended up being overwhelmed and didn't take any action. So I asked myself, what if simple is better? I basically allowed myself to make a more simple path with 80% profit margins, a 3-man team, and more time to do what I like. We implemented this and we went from 10k to 40k a month in 2.5 months. So it's fair to say that it has worked for us, and now I'm trying to give you some value so you can use it too. Before we hop into the actual softwares, I just want to say that the whole strategy around the softwares is built upon like the 2 principles here. So my philosophy is made around the statistic from Google, which says you need to spend 7 hours with somebody before buying on 11 different touch points in 4 different locations. You need to understand that statistically 3% of the customers that come and follow you or become a lead are ready to buy. The other 97% are in a state where they need to be nurtured and know more about you and the product. And typically it takes around 90 days to 2 years for them to make the decision. So it's not a quick fix and it's not something you do overnight, but when you implement these 4 apps, you should see a quite good return on investment in 90 days and more. So to the first app, we use Instagram to get attention, we use it to nurture, and we use it for appointment setting. So Instagram is basically like the core product or the core app of the funnel. So we have posts, we have reels, and we have stories. And all of these 3 pillars leads to DM, where the appointment setter takes off and nurtures people, sends them to YouTube, which I'll be talking about in a second, where they can spend more time with you. Remember the 7 hours. So yeah, basically we run follow ads to Instagram to get attention, so people come into our ecosystem, they see stories, they see the posts, they see the reels, they spend time with us. We are always top of mind, and by that we basically nurture them. And then, when they're in the DM, we can send them to YouTube or send them wherever they need to be sent. So, some of them might be in the 3%. Cool, then they just need to buy. Some of them might need to know more about you, and then you send them to a YouTube video explaining your story or how you went from X to X. That's basically the appointment setting part. The 3 pillars on Instagram. On YouTube, we leverage trust. So there's basically 2 categories we use. It's attention we get from Instagram, and then we have trust, which we get on YouTube. Our whole strategy is for people to spend approximately this 7 hours with us. And on YouTube, we would like people to know who we are, what we do, and how we can help them. Essentially also who we've helped. On Top Funnel on YouTube, we can create lifestyle, vlogs, breakdowns, a day in a life, just showcasing the business and you as a person, because people buy coaches, not coaching. In the middle funnel, we create value-based content. So for example, the one you see right now, I am giving you value in exchange for you hopefully to book a meeting with me or follow me on Instagram. And then we have the converting pieces of content as well, which could be a YouTube VSL that I would, for example, lead to from here. And I could say in the end of this video, if you would like to hear more about like my philosophy and stuff like that, you can click this video. You would be sent to another video because YouTube rewards you for getting people to stay on the platform and keeping retention. So that's a good way as well. And then you are led into a converting piece of content where the only thing in mind is showcasing how good you are, who you've helped, and how you can do the same for the customer. So just a task that I would recommend you do, and I'm currently doing the same for me, myself, and all of my clients, is posting 1 time weekly. But if we go to the third app, it's called Puppy.ai, and it's quite new, and we just implemented it for some of my clients. So basically Puppy.ai is quite simple. It's like a user interface as you see here, and then you can put in links from YouTube videos, images, websites, you can make notes yourself, and then it's like an AI board where you lead it to a prompt where the AI chat will then remember, they can see the videos, they can transcribe them, they get information about you, video ideas, and then everything is combined in this like AI chat where you can say, write me an organic piece about my philosophy, and then Puppy.ai has a lot of information about you, and then it just comes out with a script. So you basically get personalized scripts in your tone of voice, in your philosophy, your case studies, it remembers everything, and you get it in like 30 seconds. We have implemented this for script writing, and it's like 10 times faster. So now we can move on to areas that generate more revenue and then focus less on like the scripts, because beforehand we could use easily 2-3 hours just creating one script, and now we use 5 minutes to prompt Puppy.ai, and 30 seconds to get it. Of course, we need to, edit it afterwards and stuff like that because it's not always perfect, but I think it's fair to say that this is a very good app to use. And the fourth app is Calendly. So I think Calendly is great for booking appointments, and I decided to get it into this video because there's a few things that we use Calendly for that is probably a bit atypical. So first of all, I put this in red because reminders, we don't use it, but I see a lot of people using it. And if you're US based or UK based, I think it makes good sense. But the reminders come out from a +1 number, and we're mainly based in Denmark, which is +45 phone number. So it doesn't really make sense for us. So what we do is basically just cut the reminders and ask for their Instagram handle, which I'll go more in depth about in a minute. And then we get the appointment setter to, follow up with them and make them reminders. But the main thing we use Calendly for is questions and qualities. So we can qualify people, and the best thing here as well is we can segment where meetings are coming from. So for example, we have some meetings coming from the website, we have some coming from the appointment setter, we have some from YouTube, we have some from, a VSL funnel or something like that. And then we can see where the different meetings are coming from. You need Slack and Zapier to do this as well. And then you just make a SAP from Calendly to Slack saying, X booked a meeting, the meeting comes from, and then the source. And then you have an overview of where the meetings are coming from. In terms of what you need to ask people, I think is quite critical. So first we ask for their name and their telephone, because then we can call them up if they're a no-show, and then we ask for the IG handle because we have a 95% show-up rate when people have their IG handle and they answer on IG. So it's like when we have their IG handle, it's basically a guaranteed show-up. So that's why we implement that, because the appointment setter can also reach out to them and nurture them along the way. So, if they book Monday and their call is on Friday, they have 4 days to be nurtured. The appointment setter can send them YouTube videos, lead magnets, all that kind of stuff that commits them a tiny bit. Then we ask for motivational questions. For example, be like, why did you book this meeting? What do you hope to get out of the meeting? Where are you today? Why do you want to change your situation? And then we have qualifying questions. So for example, like, this is a 4-figure investment. Just to make sure that you don't book the call and waste your time, do you have the funds to invest it if it makes sense for your business? This is mostly for like financial questions and for getting people to show up, because we make the one question I just told you, and then we do, we set time aside and you do the same. So do you respect our time and yours as well? If yes, please type agree in the chat. So that is basically like the qualifying questions. Overall, I would recommend you doing like 8 to 10 questions. One thing that I've noticed is the more volume you have, the more friction you can add. So if you want to test on more questions, if you get 6-10 meetings a day, you can easily add one more question and see the data. But if you're only at like 0 to 2, 3, 4 calls a day, I wouldn't recommend putting on more friction. I would actually see, how can we decrease the friction and make it easier for people to book in. So yeah, I hope this made sense. These are the 4 apps that I would recommend you use if you want to build a 40K a month info product. If you got some value out of this, I've put my Instagram below. You can hop in and follow me. I will showcase a bit more there as well and show you how the Instagram funnel is working. And you are welcome to DM me as well if you want my help. I hope you got something out of this video. See you guys.